Farmers and ranchers across the country tuned in for last night's State of the Union address as President Trump touched on policies impacting rural America. Minnesota beef producer Brenny was in attendance last night, and she joins us now for a recap. Thanks for joining us, Katie. So what brought you to Washington initially?
I had the opportunity and pleasure of being invited by Representative Angie Craig from Minnesota to be her guest of honor last night at the State of the Union after a great farm visit this fall during her campaign season, where she got to see our cows out in the pasture. We talked about everything from beef to trade to healthcare to agriculture, and ended our time together with a homemade apple pie. So I like to say that the apple pie is what brought me to D.C.
Hey, apple pie can unite many fronts. Happy to hear about that. Now tell us what last night's experience was like for you.
Last night was a complete dream, an amazing experience to walk in the tunnels of the House with Representative Angie Craig and her wife Cheryl and her staff, over to being a guest at the Speaker of the House's chambers, and to get to meet all the wonderful elected officials and their guests and staffers. I met so many people, had great conversations in her chambers, everything from eating beef and eating more of it to questions around trade and around agriculture. It just was a great opportunity to stand on her balcony, look out at the skyline and lights of Washington, D.C., and have a great conversation about young farmers and ranchers and what elected officials from all over the United States can do to make sure that what we do on our farms and ranches is on everyone's dinner plates.
It sounds like it's giving you a lot of optimism for the future. We're happy to hear about that. Now, what's interesting is you actually had the opportunity to see the president speak twice recently, once at the American Farm Bureau Federation's 100th annual convention, and then last night. Did you notice anything different about the two speeches?
Yeah, last night's speech was really about the whole country and his direction for the next year, and really looking at it from a whole scale, where at American Farm Bureau it was really focused on farmers and ranchers and really what does that play into agriculture for his plan for the year. Both speeches, I would have to say, those centered around a lot of the similar things of healthcare, trade, aid, border security, and just really overall a great message. No matter who's in the president's spot, right, you honor and cherish that ability to see that person in person, and to do that twice in a short amount of time has just been a wonderful experience, and has really allowed me to see and understand that building networks and being engaged in policy, either if it's at your home capital, your local elected official here in Washington, D.C., is just so critical, and especially to continue to share the story of agriculture.
Well, we really appreciate you spending some time with us today. I know that your feet must be tired after standing last night. Minnesota beef producer Brenny, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you all the success